The Durban platform was really a sea change in the negotiations under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Until Durban happened, which was in December of 2011, the whole way in which the negotiations take place at the UN was structured in such a way where only industrialized, wealthy countries need to really take meaningful action to address climate change. And Durban was the first time that all countries agreed that they collectively need to take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It took a long time for the UN to get to that level of cooperation and confidence and trust in each other amongst the different countries and parties to the convention. It also took a lot of difficult negotiations in the mid 2000s, where you saw many industrialized countries put in place domestic policies to price carbon, like the EU did with the emissions trading system, like New Zealand did, like Canada did. And those countries started to begin their process of decarbonization with those policies and through participation in the Kyoto Protocol's flexibility mechanisms. At the very last hour in the negotiations, did the G77 in China say, all right, under this framework convention, we will also start to begin a process of voluntarily reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And we will begin to break down that wall between those that are industrialized countries and those that are developing countries, and begin to work more meaningfully and cooperatively as a global village and as a global effort.
I think if you look at the process leading up to Kyoto and what has happened since Copenhagen and the process that's going into Paris in December, I believe there are many lessons from the past. What I see primarily, of course, is one, it takes an enormous amount of effort to prepare. And I think we have a very solid preparatory process.
The Durban platform challenges those boundaries because it means that all countries have to begin the process of decarbonization. And the onus is not just on industrialized countries.
We see countries like China and the United States, the leadership role. Leadership is absolutely critical to get tough decisions on an international level. I think that was missing in Copenhagen in 2009.
It's also why the Paris 2015 agreement will be more effective than the Kyoto Protocol when it comes to meeting the challenge of climate change.
I think they have learned a lot from Kyoto, but they've also learned a lot from the failure in Copenhagen.